Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everyone had an amazing holiday. It's 2026. We are here with the very first Mallett live stream of 2026. I'm excited. Mr. Darrell's here. He's got some good information for you today. We're going to be talking about the owner's design considerations for a Barndominium. Things to consider before you purchase your Barndominium and how to help you save money and make it a flawless, more stress-free process. So with that being said, let's get right into the show. Happy Monday, Mr. Tim. Glad to see you. Happy New Year. So once we come over here and click on things so we can have access to our screen, there we go. We are in 116 different job locations here with Mallett this week. We have 82 going on in Louisiana, 31 in Texas, and 3 in Mississippi. We always consistently have something in Mississippi, it seems. It's always fun to see. But as you can see, we are past College Station, almost to the Tyler area. We are up past Ruston, Vicksburg, Mississippi. We have 2 more here, all the way to the eastern side of Louisiana and everywhere in between. It's really exciting stuff, you guys. Now, there's 82 jobs in Louisiana. We have buildings that are in construction, materials on the ground, inspections, plumbing, forms, concrete, finishers, gutters, and of course red tags, because when there's an error, we fix our mistakes. And did the old year start with the same? Oh, you have the flu, Mr. Tim. I'm sorry to hear that, but thankfully you can kick back, relax with some tea and whatever your remedy of choice is for the flu, and enjoy the Mallett live stream. We're here for you. But I hope you feel better, most importantly. But 82 different job locations, from Leesville to Sulphur to Denham Springs to Folsom, Sunset, Church Point, Rain, Welsh, Scott. We are all over the place, you guys. The logistics behind this is impressive, to say the least. Now, 31 jobs going on in the Texas area, again, in construction, on the ground, inspections, forms, concrete, plumbing, finishers, gutters, red tags, all throughout this southeastern part of Texas. You see we're all around the Houston area, through Beaumont, Port Arthur, all around the border. Exciting stuff. Now, why Mallett? You've heard, where's Mallett? Let's talk about why Mallett. As always, we want to talk about our rival series first. What this is our answer to industry standard pricing and builds. So what I mean by that is, you'll see the spec sheet here. A lot of this may not look familiar because it's not what we normally use here at Mallett. That being said, this is an industry standard, what most of our competitors and other people at builders are using. So we decided, let's make a building series that follows those lower tier industry standards as well. Well, I say lower tier not because it's not a good quality building, it's just because we go above and beyond here at Mallett, and I'll show you what that means here in a moment. But let's talk about the rival series. It's going to have 29 gauge metal as opposed to the 26 we use in the Mallett. We're going to have a 4-on-12 roof pitch, 2x6 trusses. Oftentimes, a lot of people are using common flat trusses. 130 mile an hour wind rating, about the same. It's the classic. No uplift control, so you're not going to have a Mallett cable lock system. You're also going to have 2x8 headers and 3,000 PSI concrete. No ground protection, limited warranty, and number 2, untreated generic lumber. This is a standard post frame construction building here, you guys. Now, what do I mean by lower standards compared to Mallett? Let me tell you. This is a good building. This is a great building. Good building. Great building. And let me tell you why. As I mentioned, 26 gauge metal is standard across all Mallett buildings. We're also going to have a 512 roof pitch, 2x8 scissor trusses, not 2x6. And ours are inspected and they're 2x8 all the way through. No interwebbing of different sizes, no fluff here and there. It's truly a 2x8 scissor truss, or a cathedral truss as it's more commonly known. Now, we have third-party inspections, as I mentioned. We're going to have 170 mile an hour wind rating on the roof system. That's impressive. That's a very important thing. That's going to be the 2x12 headers, the scissor trusses, everything that goes up top. That's going to be working together to create this 170 mile an hour wind rating. Now, the Mallett cable lock system. We love our Mallett cable lock system. That's going to be a 1/8 inch aircraft cable that goes around the whole building, around the base of the post, post to post, around the whole building, connecting that building together. And then the concrete is going to be poured on top of that. That concrete's a 4,000 PSI concrete as well. And if you get an elite building, it's going to be microfiber reinforced all the way throughout with control joints as well. But that concrete pushes down and holds all the weight of it on those aircraft cables as well. That's going to create down pressure on those cables holding the building down. So say you have a malfunction in a window, a door, that wind's gonna rush in and create uplift and wanna pull that building up like a parachute. This cable lock system and all that weight on it is gonna hold that building down and prevent that from happening. Wonderful feature we have here. You're also gonna have that 4,000 PSI concrete under every post in the form of a post pad. So those 6x6 posts we have are gonna have pads underneath to prevent unwanted settling and shifting. Skirt board guards for more ground protection. We start with a 4-year workmanship warranty because we believe in our product. We believe in our product because we also use #1 MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber. If we want to be the #1 builder, we believe we need to use #1 lumber, and that's what we use throughout the entire building. It is also treated ground to roof. Every piece is also kiln dried and treated to make sure you have the best quality wood possible. As always, our in-house engineers are going to verify everything throughout the process, making sure the building is not only to spec, but to code and to the Mallett standards. You're going to hear more about that here soon from Mr. Darrell. But just to compare again, Rival Series, industry standard, what most people are building with. Mallett Classic, the entry-level building of the best buildings in the country, you guys. True statement. I said it myself. Now, that is a Mallett Classic, and that is the difference in the Rival and the Classic, or you could say the industry and Mallett. Now, moving right along, if you're interested in a building and you fall into one of these categories, healthcare worker, first responder, military personnel, teacher, and or educator, you can get $500 off your next Mallett building because we appreciate what you do for us and our community. Now, speaking of cash off, if you comment cash on a video like this, when you purchase your Elite or Signature building, you can get $1,000 off that building if it is an Elite or Signature. Now, it is not applied to specials or promotions. Just a regular price building for $1,000 off, but if you fall into one of these categories, you can bundle those together for a $1,500 value. Let's see, did you ever find out if the Rival is using nails or screws? Mr. Tim, I believe everything in the Rival is still going to be screws. I can double check on that, but I know at Mallett we use screws for everything, so I'm just gonna say that's what we use, but I will double check and correct myself if I'm wrong. Mr. Darrell confirmed it is screws on the Rival building, so thank you for asking. Now, January specials and promotions. Let's hop into these, you guys. We have 3 phenomenal buildings, limited time offer. You can pick your eave height, plus you get a 10-foot gable extension included for free. Now, this is up to a $17,000 value depending on what you choose. That is cool because for a 30 by 50 by 12 for $43,998, you get to have a 10-foot gable extension and pick your eave height. That's amazing. Now, 40 by 50 by 14 for $53,958 and a 40 by 60 by 16 for $62,598, you guys. So many variances here. You could do a 30 by 50 by 16. You could do a 40 by 50 by 12. Whatever you may want, it is here. Tiger needs a Mardi Gras hat. I've seen some Mardi Gras balls already happening, Mr. Tim, so it is in full swing already. It seems a little early, but they're saying it's happening early this year, but I will definitely put a Mardi Gras hat and some cool stuff on the Tiger if that's what you want. But all the premium features included. What is a premium feature in a Mallett Elite? Let's go over that. #1 grade lumber, as always, but this concrete's gonna be 6-inch as opposed to 4-inch, 4,000 PSI concrete. Cable lock system, we're gonna have 150 mile-an-hour wind rating on these buildings, 170 rated truss system, concrete pad under the post. As always, we're gonna have post protectors as well. 5-on-12 cathedral trusses, engineered building. You get 2 3x5 windows. Gutters are included with a 10-year workmanship warranty. And all of that comes backed by over 685 reviews and A+ rating on the BB. And you get $17,000 in value included for a limited time for the month of January. So, if this interests you, 337-214-0428 is the number. Call and get on the books and start getting your building put together. This is a steal, you guys. I don't know how they came out with this, but it is here and these are the specials. Now, the next one is gonna surprise you, but I think it's a happy surprise. We brought the Cajun Oasis into 2026. This building did so well during Christmas, you guys, during the December specials. I believe, as far as I know, it's just gonna be a promotional building that is here to stay for a while. Now, I don't know that for sure, but it is here for the beginning of January, that I know for certain. It is an electrical package and a 5-ton unit, making it a $16,000 value for free. You can also ask about spray foam, but what is that $16,000 value included in? It is a 30 by 50 by 12 for only $49,999. That includes, again, the insulation, climate control package, electrical package, and that's going to be a 5-ton wall-mounted unit in a Cajun Oasis Classic. A beautiful building. This could be a gym, a home spa, a game room, he shed, she shed, all the seashore things that get stored there, whatever you want to put in here, it's ready. And you have that because it is AC'd, heated, and electrical. When the building's done, you can turn the lights on, move in. It's already set to whatever temperature you deem necessary. Now, if you want something a little more, because the Classic is phenomenal, but we know there's more, we have the Cajun Oasis Elite. Same $16,000 value, same size, $59,999. Now, the difference, you may wonder, as you can already see, the building looks to be phenomenal. You have the wainscoting, you're gonna have 150 mile an hour wind rated building, you're gonna get the 2 doors, you're gonna get, or the 2 windows, I'm sorry, 2 3x5 windows. You're gonna get more, closer truss and post space, and you're gonna get a lot more features here in the Elite, you guys. And to be honest, it's a lot more than the $10,000 difference between this and this. But optional wainscoting and all the extra features of the Elite. If you would like to see a breakdown of the Elite versus the Classic building, you can comment Elite below and we will get you that information. But this thing, you guys, I don't know how long it's here for, but it's still here. And it's an amazing, like Mr. Tim said, it is the hot seller because it's such a phenomenal bundle. Now, that being said, let's talk about the 5 red flags. Whenever you're looking for your next builder, hopefully it's Mallett, but we want you to make an educated decision that you feel you've done your research on, and to help you, we have the 5 red flags. Now, years in business. You can check this at the Secretary of State website. We understand everybody starts somewhere, but you also don't want to be someone's first build. I mean, I hate to say that, and I know that may sound mean, but when you're buying a building at these prices, you want to make sure it's going to be done the right way. And in our 27 years and over 685 reviews, I think that's here to say we've done a few buildings, over 20,000 in our last 27 years, and we're very proud about that. But you want to check how long they've been in business on the Secretary of State website. If they don't show up, they may not be able to do work for you, and that falls into red flag number 2. Licensure. You want to make sure through the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors, or LSLBC for short, that they are a licensed contractor. You want to make sure they can do that residential work, that commercial work, that industrial work, whatever you're paying them to do, make sure they're legally able to do so. While you're at the LSLBC, you can check out the contractor violations. If they are a licensed contractor, you can make sure here that they are also violation free. Here at Mallett, in our 27 years, we're proud to say we have 0 contractor violations, and we plan to keep it that way. But if the person you're considering doing business with has violations, and first off, if they didn't tell you, that could be a red flag in itself. But if they're willing to break the law once, chances are they're willing to do it again. Hopefully they learn their lesson, but oftentimes we see they do not. And that's something you should look out for. Now, reviews on the BBB and Google. We've mentioned A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau, you guys. That's not the easiest thing in the world to get. And between the BBB and Google, we have over 685 reviews. We are incredibly, incredibly proud of this because most people don't have 5 or 10 reviews, and the ones they do aren't the best. Now, we know at almost 700 reviews that not all of them are going to be good, and we know that. But we'd love for you to see how those instances were handled and how the follow-up was taken care of on those. But what you're going to find more than not is very happy customers, because out of those almost 700 reviews, we have a 4.9 average rating, and we're incredibly, incredibly proud of that. But check that out, because no one speaks better like the public who has gone through the experience of working with a company. As we know, the internet is the place everyone will tell everything, and we're proud to say in our reviews that we would love for you to go check those out. Now, visit the contractor's facility. I have been talking about this roll form plant for a long time now, but it is looking absolutely stunning, you guys. It is, I believe, I was looking out there yesterday, majority of all, if not all of the metal exterior has been put on. It's beautiful. It looks like a wood finish. It's a new design that we have coming out. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend come and check it out. But most importantly, we have all the people here that are involved in the process. You get to meet the designers, you get to meet the inspectors, you get to meet the people who are building your building, meet the people in scheduling who are guiding you along the entire process. Anyone involved in the process of the building, you get to meet here, and they're more than happy to explain what's going on and what will happen when you get to their phase of the building process, and that's something we're incredibly proud of here. On top of that, we have a state-of-the-art truss plant that's knocking these babies out every single day, and it's super fun to watch. So if you ever have a chance to come by, highly recommend doing that. Now, that is all for me. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Darrell for his section of the day. Good information. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Hey, I'm Darrell, the engineer here at Mallett, and Happy New Year. And hope you've been enjoying watching college football games that were exciting during the New Year's celebration. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some things that occur as someone has decided to construct a home inside one of our Mallett buildings, and they call them Barndominiums. And so I talked to Jessica, our designer, about some of the things that come up a lot, and I thought I'd speak to you about that. So these are the main things. So the first thing is doors or windows in the middle of a wall. So a lot of times a person who's purchasing one of our buildings and wants to make a house out of it, they want it to be very symmetrical, and I understand symmetry, but you just have to understand that if you have depending on the size, the width of your building, you may have a post that ends up right in the middle of that wall if you have a building with a 10-foot spacing, as we typically have. And so you might have to move that door over just a little bit, or you might have to move a window over just a little bit. Now, you might say, if you're listening to you might say to yourself, well, that's no big deal, moving a door or a window over. But a lot of people are just adamant about that. Well, the thing about it is we build so many buildings here at Mallett, and our contractors that work with us in constructing these buildings, we just can't move posts around. It creates all kinds of problems, and so you have to consider that. And it may be that those columns don't end up in the middle of your wall, but it's just something that you got to take into consideration. And the owner needs to be willing to compromise on minor changes to door and window layouts. That's probably the first thing. And then the second thing to consider is clearances in bathrooms and kitchens. And so what I said is the owner needs to research typical layouts of kitchens and bathrooms used in house plans for the last several years. Unique designs for smaller bathrooms and kitchen may not be acceptable once constructed. And the point with this is, everybody's got unique ideas, and I understand that. And but there are literally thousands of house plans on the internet, and some of these house plans on the internet have been built and built and built. There are typical kitchen layouts and typical bathroom layouts that work, and so you don't want to end up sitting on the toilet and brushing your teeth. It's just a small bathroom. And you don't want to end up not being able to open your refrigerator door. And so it's just something to take into consideration. It's something, when a person wants to build a barndominium, they have to be willing to put in some of the research and some thought and some consideration with their ideas. And you know, a lot of times people will kind of have an attitude, well, it's a big building, it'll all work out. But when you build a house, there are several pinch points, I guess is one way to say it. And the bathrooms in the kitchen can be a pinch point. And so it's something that you really have to carefully consider. And so the next thing is interior door sizes. This phrase, aging in place, which means staying in your house for 30 years. And maybe you move in when you're a healthy, fit 40, and you stay in your house till you are not so healthy 70. And all of a sudden, you're in a wheelchair. Well, 36-inch doors are really required to maneuver in a wheelchair. 32-inch doors also will work, but it's just something to consider. 24-inch doors, not so much. And so that's something that you need to consider. Another thing is the clearance between doors and windows. If a window is within 24 inches of a door, it needs to be tempered. And I'll show you that in a minute. The other one is post spacing on the wings. There again, shouldn't be a big deal, but we typically set the post on the wings at 10 feet. And sometimes people, they don't like a post being in front of a window because they don't want to look out the window and see the 6-inch post. And that's the thing. And so it's just something to consider. And then consideration for roll-up doors on the wings. Now, so in regards to this thing with the windows being tempered, you know, we at Mallett don't come up with these rules that we live by. This is a website called mybuildingpermit.com, and it has all kinds of interesting things, but you see here that if you have a door and if you have a window within that 24 inches, that window would have to be tempered, which is expensive. And so it's just something you have to consider. Code issues like that, you just have to consider them because it has to be done. You can't get your building permit. In regards to the roll-up doors, another consideration, something that comes up all the time, when you go to get your permit, you will have to have a note on your plans in some parishes that your garage door is rated for the wind load in that area. Like for St. Tammany Parish, you'd have to have a note on your plans that said that the garage door will be rated for 140 miles per hour. And that is a charge, an upcharge from a regular door. And their permit offices are very careful to check that. So I wanted to show you a couple of projects that are barndominiums, and so this is one of them, and you will see, well, like this view, the way the layout ended up, that post is in the way of that window just a little bit. That didn't bother that particular owner, and it doesn't bother me, but it might bother you. And so that's one thing. And then the other thing, you will notice that this roll-up door is on this wall, which is a good place for it, and it's not on the wall where the wing is. And then this is another project, and now it has a roll-up door where the wing is. And so there's a note on the plans that says it's a 10 by 10 roll-up door with a 9-foot clearance. And this particular building has 12-foot walls, which is the shortest wall that we typically do. And so here you have a 12-foot building with a wing, with a door that provides 9 foot of clearance, which is plenty of clearance for the typical pickup truck. Because most roll-up doors have, in a residential, in a regular house, are 8 foot tall. And so this is that particular building. So let me go back. So here's the 3D view, and here's the view constructed. And so there you see the roll-up door. It's a 10-foot roll-up door. But then on the inside, you see that part of that 10-foot height is going to be taken up by the roll of the door. But you still have plenty of height on that, but it's just a consideration. And so those are some of the things that we deal with, and some of the things that you need to deal with. As I have said before, that whenever, especially when you're doing a Barndominium, it's a team effort, and you have to be involved in the process. And Mallett cannot read your mind, and Mallett cannot know what is specifically very important to you sometimes. And so you just have to sit down and think about it and write some notes, write slow, think about it, and you'll have a great project. So we at Mallett have the team that you need to design it and to build it, and you'll be happy with the product. So come buy a building from us and get yourself a Barndominium. See you next week.